All right, everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA, and this is my stimulus update for Thursday, October 15th. Just real quick, today is a major tax deadline. Today is the extended deadline to file your 2019 tax return if you need to file one, and you filed for an extension. As it relates to stimulus, if you didn't file for 2018, but you do have a 2019 filing requirement, this is the last day to file your 2019 tax return and still get a stimulus payment this year. Otherwise, you'll have to claim it on your 2020 tax return. If you do not have a filing requirement, you now have until November 21st to use the Get My Payment tool to get a stimulus payment this year, but today is the extended tax return deadline for those who have a 2019 filing requirement. This is also the end of my busy time of the year, leaving me with more time throughout the day. So going forward, I do want to continue to do these stimulus updates for you, but also talk about other topics as well in my videos. I've been busy, so haven't done a great job reading comments, but please comment below what other topics or video ideas you'd like to hear me talk about now that I do have some more time to potentially create multiple videos per day. If you could let me know what you're interested in, I would really appreciate it. Now, in terms of stimulus, folks, we really need it. I know that, you know that. A report came out today indicating that 8 million Americans have fallen into poverty since May. According to researchers at Columbia University, the CARES Act kept many of them from slipping into poverty, but now that pretty much all direct payments to the people, now I know some people haven't gotten first stimulus yet, but overall, most of the direct cash payments to the people from the CARES Act, be it stimulus checks or unemployment, has run out, and this number will only increase without further stimulus, especially with that eviction moratorium ending in December. It is a scary situation, folks. Unemployment claims were released today to the tune of 898,000, up by more than 50,000 from the previous week. This is the largest increase week over week since August. However, PUA claims for the self-employed dropped significantly by 87,000 to 373,000 from 460,000 the week before. Counting people in all forms of unemployment, the number dropped by 200,000. So some mixed signals there, but it's clear that people still need help, and it's frustrating because we're really not seeing compromise or as much progress as we like with congressional stimulus plans. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin spoke on the phone for an hour yesterday. Pelosi's spokesman said the conversation was productive and that they will speak again today. Nevertheless, just listening to Pelosi's and Mnuchin's own words about the conversation, it's not the most encouraging thing. Pelosi yesterday basically continued to criticize the Republican proposal. She compared it to putting Band-Aids on the issue and not addressing the real problem, which in her view is to, yes, help people financially, but also underlying that is implementing a national strategic COVID-19 testing plan. Mnuchin said at an event later in the day that at this point, getting something done before the election and executing on it would be difficult. He was asked if he believes that Democrats are holding out here because they don't want to give Trump a win before the election. And Mnuchin says yes, he thinks that's part of the issue here. He said that the national debt issue is concerning to him as well, and that he wants to put money in the economy now. It doesn't have to be all or nothing like Pelosi appears to want. Like I said, Mnuchin and Pelosi will speak again today. Now, just this morning, Mnuchin was on CNBC in an over-the-phone interview, and he said that when he speaks to Pelosi today, he's going to tell her that Republicans are not going to let the testing issue that she brought up stand in the way, and that Republicans will fundamentally agree with the Democrats' testing language subject to minor issues. Now, if that's true, if that's actually going to happen, that is a nice step in the right direction, because the whole absence of a national testing strategy is one of the things that Pelosi keeps up bringing as lacking in the Republican proposal. So for Mnuchin to say something like this, that's progress. Does this mean that I think it's a slam dunk that a deal will be struck before Election Day because they might overcome this hurdle? No. There's still so many things they would have to work through in a very short period of time. And then there's a whole Senate issue to contend with. But just as far as negotiations between Mnuchin and Pelosi go, I see this as at least some progress. Speaking of the national debt, Donald Trump was asked yesterday by billionaire David Rubenstein about the direction of the national debt if there is another stimulus bill. Trump said it's very concerning and it's on his mind. Trump, of course, gave a daily stimulus tweet, and unless he feels like pushing the boundaries of presidential authority, his opinion on stimulus is, for all practical purposes, worthless at this point when it comes to reaching a deal. But just for posterity's sake, he tweeted, Nancy Pelosi couldn't care less about the American people or the great American worker. She should approve needed stimulus now. Most other Dems agree. Republicans are ready to go. I am ready to sign. Two things wrong here. First, Trump said Republicans are ready to go. Which Republicans, Donald, are ready to go with the $1.8 trillion deal? Okay, there's you, Mnuchin, Meadows, I suppose. What about the Senate? I mean, I'm sure Meadows briefed Trump on the conference call over the weekend with Senate Republicans who basically roasted Mnuchin and Meadows when they presented to them the $1.8 trillion offer. The Republican Senate looks pretty impotent right now when it comes to comprehensive stimulus. So I do take issue with Trump's claims that Republicans are ready to go. He also said that most other Democrats agree that Nancy should take the deal. I'm not really seeing evidence of that. Most, as in the majority of Democrats? No, I'm not seeing that. I've told you about Progressive Congressman Ro Khanna. He has been vocal about Nancy needing to take the deal. Andrew Yang wants Nancy to take the deal. A few other Democratic members of Congress have joined the chorus, including Abigail Spanberger, representing Virginia's 7th Congressional District, Peter Welch, representing Vermont's 1 single congressional district, and maybe even Tom Malinowski of New Jersey's 7th Congressional District. But other than that, not very many vocals have come out and said, hey, Nancy, you should take the deal. Trump did reiterate this morning on Fox Business that he's willing to go higher than $1.8 trillion, but like I've said before, would that really get enough votes in the Senate? Not likely. He was asked, well, okay, if you're willing to go above $1.8 trillion, Trump, why not just take Pelosi's $2.2 trillion offer? And Trump basically implied that she wants money for things unrelated to COVID, and he also says, your pride couldn't let it happen. He said that we like stimulus, we want stimulus, we think we should have stimulus, but Mnuchin is the one who has not come home with the bacon, so he's kind of been blaming both Pelosi and his representative, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin here, but of course, it's not his fault. We continue to wait for the next Republican skinny bill, probably come in at about $500 billion. Hopefully we'll get a look at it next week when the Senate is back in town. Obviously, Pelosi will not entertain this bill in the least, and just like the previous Republican skinny bill, I'm not optimistic that it's even going to get a floor vote in the Senate. McConnell was asked about Trump's messaging to go big or go home with stimulus, and McConnell said that he will propose next week what he thinks is appropriate, which is obviously far less than what Trump wants or Pelosi wants or thinks is appropriate. He's kind of saying that Trump is irrelevant in the Republican Senate right now. All right, everybody, that is my stimulus update for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.